What's going on, my YouTube people? My name is Ghiman Mckinney, or you can just call me Juice. That is my nickname. Appreciate you guys for tuning into the channel today. Be sure to smash the like button right now if you are rocking with your boys. Subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. Do post some great sports videos weekly and almost every single day if I can. Alright, we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions today. We're going to preview and break down their schedule in 2019-2020. I'll go game by game, try to see why I can find some wins and losses for the Detroit Lions in 2019-2020. So let's talk about them. All right, last season, typical Detroit Lions season. A typical Detroit Lions season. I mean, is this the theme? Detroit is obviously going to be one of the worst teams in football, but not near the bottom of the worst. They're going to find a way to win about 5-6 games, and that's what the Lions did this year. They found a way to win 6 games. I don't know how they did it, but hey, you know they did it. Okay, so now obviously you do have some big wins. Some of those 6 wins were big wins. Okay, you beat the Patriots. You swept my Green Bay Packers. I am a Packers fan, but I am going to be objective today. That's why I do not have a Packers jersey or shirts on. Okay, by the way, like I said, I don't know what happened to the Lions last year. You lost to the Bills. You lost to the San Francisco 49ers when they were not a very good football team last year. You got blown out. You got blown out by the Jets in Week 1. Sam Darnold, you made Sam Darnold look like the second coming of Joe Montana in Week 1. Oh my God, that was terrible. Anyway, and then you lost to everyone else on your schedule. You lost to everyone else on your schedule. So again, let's see if the Lions can potentially improve in 2019-2020. Let's see. In the draft, you actually had a pretty good draft in my opinion. You added TJ Hawkinson in the draft, a very, very good tight end. I think he's very, very good. I'm not saying he's going to be the next Gronk like some people said in his pre-draft comparisons, but hey, he's a very good player. You need to upgrade at the tight end position. TJ Hawkinson to me was a surefire thing. He's definitely going to catch a lot of great passes from Matthew Stafford. You drafted Nada out of Georgia, another very good talented tight end. You drafted Austin Bryant out of Clemson, a very good D-end, very underrated pick. And then you also added a very underrated cornerback in Amani Oruwani. I'm just gonna say his name that way. Lions fans know who I'm talking about. His last name is very, very hard to pronounce, so forgive me if I pronounce his name wrong. Okay, but either way. And in the offseason, you actually did some very good things too. You added Trey Flowers, you added Danny Amendola, who should be a very good weapon for you guys. You added CJ Anderson to improve on your depth for the running back position, which is very key because your running backs seem to always get hurt every year. And then you also added Mike Daniels too. Mike Daniels was a key picker for the Lions. So now you got a defensive line where you got Mike Daniels, you got Sax Harrison, and you got Trey Flowers. It's a pretty good defensive line on paper at least, okay? Now, I will get into your schedule in a little bit, but before I do that, I want to talk about this guy, Matthew Stafford. I mean, I don't know what to make of Stafford. I just don't. To me, I feel like Stafford could be better if you surround him with more talent. But again, I look at Matthew Stafford, and did he not have potentially one of the 5 greatest wide receivers of all time in Calvin Johnson at his disposal and couldn't luck up 1 year and win a playoff game? Couldn't. He hasn't. In 10 years, Matthew Stafford hasn't even won this division? Oh my God. And then look, a lot of people said Eric Ebron's a bust. I look at him catching passes from Andrew Luck in Indianapolis. The guy looks serviceable. So again, to me, I'll say this about Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford needs to start winning some games. He's been in the league 10 years. He was picked number 1 overall. It's time to man up, Matthew Stafford. You need to start winning some games. I'm just saying. And again, at the same time, I want to give him a little bit of leeway because I feel like the Lions organization has failed Matthew Stafford. But again, 10 years in, this is kind of what Matthew Stafford is. A guy with a strong arm that can make some great wild throws, that has been clutch in the past. He's got some very good game-winning drives, but just doesn't win. That's my thoughts on Matthew Stafford. I'm sorry. Now, I don't think you should move on from him. But again, like I said, that's just my thoughts on Matthew Stafford. He's an okay quarterback. Not anything special. But again, you're not going to be terrible with Matthew Stafford as your quarterback. Can potentially get better with age. I don't know. Let's just jump into your schedule. I've talked enough. Okay, at Arizona Cardinals, Chargers at home, at Eagles, Chiefs at home. All 4 losses, in my opinion. Now I'm going to explain why. Look, at the Cardinals, look, last year you lost to Sam Darnold. Okay, you lost to Sam Darnold last year. Kyler Murray is a better prospect out of college than Sam Darnold was. and it's going to be played at Arizona. Last year at Arizona, you barely won the game. Okay, you won the game 17-3. I'm a big believer in Kyler Murray. I'm a believer in him. I believe in Cliff Kingsbury in this offense. The Cardinals, to me, have one of the best drafts. They had the best draft out of any team in the 2019 draft. So, again, it's a tough place to play at Arizona. If it was in Detroit, I would potentially pick you guys. But, again, I just think Kyler Murray, this offense is going to be a little bit too much for you guys and a little bit too much for Matthew Stafford to keep up. Now, Chargers at home. I potentially could see you upsetting the Chargers, but, again, the Chargers are a very good road team. The Chargers' road record last year was very, very good. They're a top 5 talented team to me. Okay, they had the most Pro Bowlers last year on their team. To me, it just comes down to the Chargers are a better team. You get them at home, you have a puncher's chance to the fact that it's at home. But again, they're the better team. At Philadelphia, they're the most talented team in football, in my opinion. Philadelphia, to me, is a Super Bowl contender. They're a Super Bowl contender, like I said. They are one of the most talented teams, if not the most talented team in all of football. Offensive line, defensive line, quarterback, pretty much elite in every category. They're a good team. You're not going to beat Philadelphia in Philadelphia. Kansas City Chiefs at home. Now, Patrick Mahomes, to me, will take a slight step back this year just because teams have film on him. But let's be real. It does not take you very much time to watch Patrick Mahomes and not realize the guy is special. The offense is special. They're going to have Tyreek Hill for this game. They still got Travis Kelce. The defense can't be as bad as it was last year. They had some players on defense. Again, it's a tough evaluation. I think you're going to win that game. I think you'll lose that game. So you start off 0-4. Now, the good thing is you get a bye week after not winning 4 straight games to start your season. That's very, very good. Maybe you can correct some things. Next 4 games at the Packers, Vikings at home, Giants at home, at Raiders. To me, you're going to be 2-2 in that stretch of games. You'll lose to Green Bay in Green Bay. You'll beat Minnesota and New York at home. And then you'll lose to the Raiders on the road. Now, to me, look, you obviously did beat the Packers 31-0 last year. But I'm going to tell you right now, you beat Deshaun Kaiser! You beat Deshaun Kaiser last year! Aaron Rodgers ain't playing that game. Now look, I'm going to say it right now. You have had our number over the past couple years, okay? You have swept us the last 2 years you played us, okay? But again, I just think the Packers are going to right that wrong this year. Look, Aaron Rodgers, I assume he's going to be healthy for that game. Look, Aaron Rodgers, he's one of the 3 or 4 best quarterbacks still in the National Football League today. You got Devontae Adams. You got an improved defense. I think Matt LaFleur is an upgrade of a head coach over, Mike McCarthy. Okay, I just think the Packers are going to be improved this year. I think the Packers potentially can win 9 or 10, 11 games this year with Aaron Rodgers rejuvenated, motivated, and with a new, great offensive-minded head coach. I think that's a very good, deadly weapon in Green Bay. It's a tough place to play at Lambeau Field. I have you losing at Green Bay. All right, Vikings at home. Kirk Cousins, to me, too inconsistent of a quarterback to me. I think Kirk Cousins is a serviceable quarterback. I think Kirk Cousins has talent. But again, he doesn't win very many big games. What big game has Kirk Cousins ever won in his entire career? Someone show me what big game Kirk Cousins has won. Oh, spoiler alert. He hasn't won any big games. So again, like I said, the Vikings to me are a more talented team than you. But again, talent doesn't always win games in the National Football League. I think you're good enough to beat them at home. You did improve this offseason. I like your defensive line. I like your wide receivers. I like your tight ends. And then the Giants at home. Hey, look! I found a team the Detroit Lions actually are better than. What-de-doo? Okay, but either way, look, the Giants, Daniel Jones or Eli Manning. I don't believe in Daniel Jones. Eli Manning's a shot fighter. They don't have very many good wide receivers anymore. They have a bad offensive line, a bad defense. To me, that's good enough for you guys to win in Detroit. You'll win that game at home. Then at the Raiders, look, I'm still not a believer in this Raiders defense. Okay, they should never have traded away Khalil Mack. That was a stupid, dumb decision. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. The Raiders are going to score points this year. They're gonna be fun to watch. They're gonna score some points. Derek Carr is a serviceable quarterback to me. I like it. Antonio Brown to me is still one of the 3 best wide receivers in all of football. He's in Oakland now. They have some very good weapons. They were able to add Josh Jacobs in the draft. So to me, the Oakland Raiders, they're going to score some points. It's at Oakland. The fact that it's at Oakland is the reason why I had the Raiders winning this game. If it was in Detroit, I would pick the Lions to win this game. But again, I just don't see it on the road. I think that Derek Carr is good enough to beat Matthew Stafford on the road. So the next 4 games, you got at Chicago, you got the Cowboys at home, you got at the Washington Redskins, you got the Bears at home. Okay. So right here, I see you going 2-2 in this stretch of games. I think you split with the Bears this year. I think you'll lose to the Cowboys. I think you'll lose at the Washington Redskins. I'll explain myself. Look, the Bears, to me, I think the Bears are going to take a step back this year. They lose Vic Fangio. I'm not a huge believer in Mitch Trubisky. They only beat 3 playoff teams last year, so their success to me was a product of the easy schedule last year. The Bears to me are a better team than you this year. I just have you losing at Chicago. Like I said, I have you splitting with them this year. You'll lose at Chicago. It's a tough place to play. Khalil Mack is a special player. All right, I think you'll lose that game. Let's see here. Cowboys at home. Now, you could win this game. You had the potential to win this game. But again, I just think Dallas is a better team. Dak Prescott's a serviceable quarterback. Ezekiel Elliott, very good running back. Solid wide receivers, decent tight end, and Jason Witten. Okay, very, very good defense. Elite defense in Dallas. To me, Dallas is a Super Bowl contender. To me, the Detroit Lions are one of the bottom 5 teams in the league. I have you losing to the Cowboys. Even though it's in your place, you could win that game. But again, I just don't see it. At Redskins, look, to me, the Redskins to me are just a better team than you. They really are. In my opinion, yes, the Redskins are a better team than the Lions, okay? The Redskins' defensive line is very good. I believe in Dwayne Haskins. I think Dwayne Haskins was the best quarterback in his entire draft class. At this point, he's got to be starting at some point this season. They're not going to start Colt McCoy and Case Keenum the entire season. If they do, well, they are loco and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? So again, I got you losing at the Redskins. It's a road game. You'll lose that game, and then you'll beat the Bears at home. Like I said, I think you split with them this year. So the last 4 games of your season: at the Vikings, Buccaneers at home, at Broncos, Packers at home. I actually think you win 3 of your last 4 games. I think you'll lose at Minnesota. To me, you're not. To me, the Minnesota Vikings are just a better team. The Minnesota Vikings, you can make the argument outside of offensive line, they don't really lack at any position on their team. Okay, they really don't. You'll lose at Minnesota. Buccaneers at home. I think you're about even with them as far as talent. I think the Buccaneers are going to be improved under Bruce Arians. But again, I trust Matthew Stafford to beat Jameis Winston at home. Okay, at Broncos. Now, this is a tough game. I really struggle with this game. I potentially could see the Broncos beating you this year. But again, to me, Joe Flacco's not doing it for me at quarterback. Drew Lock's not doing it for me at quarterback. They have some decent wide receivers and weapons. But again, I like what the Lions did in the offseason. You added to your defensive line. Now, your offensive line, I think you'll struggle in this game. Von Miller and Bradley Chubb are very good. But again, at Denver, I think Matthew Stafford's a better quarterback than Joe Flacco. And that, to me, is the difference in the game. Now, the Packers at home, it pains me to say this. It really does. But again, I think you made enough improvements in the offseason to beat my Packers. You're gonna split with us this year, in my opinion. You get us at home. You've had our number the past couple years. Matthew Stafford to me is a decent quarterback. You got decent running backs. You got decent wide receivers. You beat us there last year in Detroit. Again, you're not a better football team than the Packers, but again, it's just one of those games where you're probably gonna be hyped. You're probably gonna be playing for season pride at the end of the year. So again, I have you splitting with the Packers this year. So in conclusion, the Detroit Lions, typical Detroit Lions year. Now I potentially could see you getting to 7 wins. I could see you only winning 4 games. I could see you only winning 5 games. I think 6 is about the sweet spot for the Lions this year. Again, Matthew Stafford's not a terrible quarterback. Matt Patricia's he's not a terrible head coach. He's a decent head coach. Again, the Lions, you added to your team in the offseason. Your defensive line is going to be very good. I liked your draft. I think TJ Hawkinson potentially could be a Pro Bowler down the line. Again, Detroit to me is not a god-awful team, but they're not a good team either. 6 wins for me is appropriate for the Detroit Lions in 2019 and 2020. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's a wrap for this video. Be sure to like the video right now if you're rocking with your boy. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Do post a ton of great sports videos weekly, almost every single day if I can. It's my favorite thing in the world to do, to make these YouTube videos for you guys. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Be sure to share this channel with all your friends. Share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on Instagram, all that good stuff. I want to become a sports analyst and broadcaster for my full-time job. When I get older, when I get out of college, I'm heading to college pretty soon, I want to become a sports broadcaster and analyst. I want to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts in the world. So if you believe in this channel, if you believe in my dreams, I think I'm starting something special with this YouTube channel. Just share this channel with all your friends. Tell all your friends about the Juice Alert. That's the best thing you guys can do to help me personally grow and this channel grow. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. And I'm Ghost. Have a blessed day. All you guys. I'm out.